I'm pushing let's go live, so we are gonna see when we go live here in a second. Oh, we are live. It says we're live. We're good on YouTube anyways. I wish I knew how to do the multi-stream. Anyways, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Wednesday evening. It's 8:15. We're here to rock and roll and get live. I am your host, Anthony, and I got my co-host Tom here with me. Tom, say what's up.
What's up?
There you go. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Yeah, maybe we got a couple things on the agenda today, but this is going to be a little bit different. We're just going to kind of shoot the shit and, talk about some things that maybe have been in our mind or maybe happened in our life that
are worth
are
talking
interesting.
about.
Yeah, just interesting shit. So Tom, yeah, I don't know. You got anything to share to start us off, sir?
I have had an interesting past week. It has been a great time of getting out of the winter and into the spring and slowly segueing into the summer, because this is going to be a short spring. You know what I mean? It's been a short spring. I feel like summer's on its way, and I think that as we get into the summer season, we're going to be seeing a lot more cool shit pop off than I think we've seen in Ashtabula in a long time, and I'm excited for it. Like, I heard about there's a party on Main Avenue, like a block party on Main Avenue coming. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. On Main Avenue, a block party, huh?
Yeah, that's like, well, I don't know if it's called like a block party, but I think it's really cool that as the city has kind of gotten a less than favorable name over the past 10, 20, 30 years, that we are taking steps to rectify that. And I think that it starts with the things like this, like a block party, like showcasing businesses in the area. I think it's really cool.
So is this supposed to be like almost like a wine and walleye, but on Main Avenue?
But just about like Ashtabula, yeah. On Main
they used to
Avenue.
do stuff like that, like Dog Days. Remember Dog Days?
No, I don't.
You don't remember Dog Days? From
What is that?
No, you don't. I mean, it was like a.
Were there dogs involved?
I think there was a dog. You know who I think was there?
Who?
And I could have this all wrong. Remember the I don't know if it was a dog, but remember the 102 Zoo, the tiger? I think it was. I think that guy used to be there. But I do think I remember a dog, but it was more of like a fire safety dog. I don't know that was. I think that was at Dog Days. I think they used to do like if I remember correctly, they would do like driver safety for like kids, where you would hop on a tricycle and like ride this little route that they had like chalked
Safety
off.
Town. Like Safety Town.
Stuff like
That's
that.
dope
I'm
as
pretty
shit.
sure they used to do that at Dog Days. I could be wrong. Could be
But see,
absolutely
like
wrong.
you said Dog Days, so I thought that like it meant like, oh yeah, there was like a dog show in Ashtabula.
No, not that I remember.
Clever.
No, not that I remember. I remember it just being like a little, almost like a wine and walleye for
That's
Main
sweet.
Avenue.
That's sweet. It needs to come back, man. Ashtabula has so many businesses that are like, quote, mom and pop type stores, or like storefronts that are like just independently owned by, and it's a small business, and I don't think that they get enough shine, and I feel like something like this is going to be huge. I mean, like, look at the big restaurants that we have in the area, like Applebee's and Red Lobster, and we have like a ton of McDonald's and KFC and Burger King, that kind of thing. They all suck. But then you go somewhere like Casa de Frida, you go to Fire Chicken Sandwiches, you go to the Bridge Street Galley. Like, all of those places have fantastic things to offer. And Bakery on Main, I don't know have you ever been there?
I have not.
So Bakery on Main actually saved Megan and I's wedding. We had this old like bakery that my dad and mom used to do all these baked goods from. It's called Voitella's. It's in downtown Cleveland.
Okay.
It's this old style like Swedish bakery, right? And I had an order in a year prior, because these people get busy.
Okay.
3 days before the wedding, I called because I hadn't heard from him, and I'm like, hey, when can I come to pick these cookies up? Oh, yeah, we meant to reach out to you. We can't fulfill that order.
I think you told me about this.
I was tripping.
I think you've told me about this.
I was tripping.
That was 3 days before. That's pretty stressful.
And they wouldn't give me the money back.
What'd you put, a deposit, or did you pay the whole thing?
Paid the whole thing.
And they wouldn't give you a dime?
No.
Oh, no. See, that wouldn't have been cool.
And I did cash, too, so it wasn't like I could just dispute the transaction on my card. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So I go to...
What was the reason?
Because of COVID, they didn't have enough workers. I said, you've had a year. You've had a year. But no, like, I was really pissed. Like I was, like, unshakenably, like, I couldn't get out of it pissed. And I was with my dad, and we were driving up Main Avenue, and I was like, yo, I need a coffee and like a breakfast sandwich or something. Like, stop at this place. I'm in my dad's truck, and he stops. It's the bakery on Main, and I go in there, and she's like, what's, like, are you cool? Like, I'd never met this lady before. And I was like, no, I'm pissed. I was like, well, what's up? And I told her, like, what happened. And she was like, when's your wedding? I said, Saturday. She said, how much did they charge you? I said, like, $300. And what'd you get? And I told her. And she was like, I'll do it for $150 and I'll have it ready for you Saturday morning.
Clutch.
And, like, she didn't even, like, break eye contact with me. She was like, I can do that. I'll have it for you Saturday.
Confidence.
And then the greatest thing, because, like, I'd never had her cookies. I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, like, but I've never tasted your stuff.
She give you a free one?
Bro, she gave me a tray of cookies and, like, macaroons and stuff like that. And she was like, here, take them. Just give me a call by, like, noon.
I would, I don't remember the cookies, but then again,
none of us really remember that.
I don't remember too much of that day.
That
was a wild night.
So the cool thing is right after that, she recognized me from the podcast I used to do, the 4-4 own goal.
Right.
She recognized me from that. And we ended up, like, shouting her out, like, on every podcast after that while I was still affiliated with them. So that was dope. Like, you know, I'm sure, because at that point, that's when that podcast started to gain some steam. I know she got some business from that, but that was dope. But I got off on a tangent. But
Tom, did you watch the eclipse?
I did.
Because so where'd you watch it from?
I watched it at fucking work.
At work? Oh yeah, you did work today.
I was in the parking lot, dog. I was in the parking lot.
That was it. That was probably the coolest thing I've ever, like, witnessed in my life.
I thought it was super dope. The last eclipse I saw was when we worked at Verizon.
That was a partial, huh?
That was the partial one. I think you were gone by that point, though. I think that you were in Ashtabula.
Maybe, but
you weren't there.
I've seen partial eclipses.
I've seen partial,
but this was something way different, obviously.
Did you get, like, so where did you watch it at?
I watched it from the mall, from the parking lot.
You were in the mall parking lot. So we kind of had a similar experience. We were in a large parking lot.
Right.
Did you get, like, an uneasy sense of calm?
You know, bro, it was really weird. I'm curious if anybody else felt this way.
Did any of you guys feel that way?
Not so much like a uneasy sense of calm. It was peaceful. Leading up to it, it was peaceful. But I'll tell you what, it really felt like it was a dream. Like, I just remember telling my son and my wife, like, looking at them, and I was like, it's starting to get dark. It's not quite there yet, but you can tell, like, the temperature's coming down. You can feel it on your skin.
Crazy.
The wind was kind of kicking up. The birds were going crazy, and, like, it's starting to get dark. And I just remember looking at them and thinking to myself, like everything was, like, weird feeling. Like, I felt like I was in a dream. Like, it was real weird.
Yeah.
And I actually legit, I don't know if it's, like, because of the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun, I felt lighter.
Yeah. No,
I felt like
sure.
I could jump, and I would probably get some good hang time. Like, I might just float.
Yeah. I definitely felt strange during it. Like, I felt like, you know, like when, like, you watch those cartoons when you're literally, like, those, like, Looney Tunes or Merry Melodies, whatever they were called, and, like, the character would go lay down in bed, he'd, like, fall asleep, and he'd be dreaming, and, like, the character would come out of his body.
Like an out of body.
Yeah. But, like I felt like it was starting, but it was just, like, right here, just, like, slightly off my body. You know what I mean? Like, I was just being drug out just a bit.
Yeah.
It's really weird to describe and quantify, but everything was, like, so peaceful and quiet. That's what was wild to me, bro. Like, it was so weird, but it was beautiful too, man.
Yeah.
That silence. And I really took umbrage with a lot of stuff that happened after the apocalypse. Like, a lot of people
The apocalypse.
the eclipse. Like, a lot of people were
I
posting.
missed that one.
Yeah, people were saying it was the apocalypse that was going to happen, but a lot of people were like, for 4 minutes the whole world was just calm and peaceful and no one was yelling at each other. Why can't every day be like that? Well, first of all, if every day were like that, then there would be nothing special about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's why moments like that are so special. You know what I mean? Because they're true.
Rare.
For that 4 minutes, it's the best. And it's like the best you feel. Like at work, like, we all get along at work. You know what I mean? Like, me and the other salespeople and sales manager, like, we all get along. We're very cordial with each other. We respect each other. But, like, at work, I kind of feel like a lot of them are younger than me. I don't feel that way. That's just what it is. They're all younger. I'm the old man, right?
Right.
I don't really have like that connection with them like they all have with each other. Because they're younger, they're closer in age. A lot of them knew each other growing up. So I'll joke with them, like, but it's only a few of them. You know what I mean? But for those 4 minutes, we were all laughing with each other. We were all joking with each other. And, like, I felt part of the group, like, finally. You know what I mean? For just a little bit. But then when the eclipse was over, it was like, all right, back to work. Like, why the fuck are you talking to me? You know what I mean? Like, I had work to do.
Yeah, I took the day off because I thought it was such a it was a special day.
You took the day off.
I did take the day off.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to I really wanted to soak it in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's something that doesn't happen.
We're never going to see it
often.
again.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, bro. The next one, Justin's
in like 20
nephew.
years.
Justin's
in the United States, it'd be like 20 years.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
2044. A full eclipse?
2044.
For real?
Let's look it up.
Because Justin's Mixer's sister said the next time something like that happens, her son is going to be 82 years old. And the kid's like 6.
Okay, so let's
2044. No way.
Okay, so here I gotta bring. All right, so we got right here from NASA. After the total solar eclipse on April 8th, the next total solar eclipse that can be seen from the contiguous United States will be on contiguous United States will be on August 23rd, 2044. Yeah, so 20 and a half years. Roughly.
I didn't spend $100,000 to let my friends talk incorrectly.
I apologize. I'll remember that for the next one.
But is that like Ohio? Because like
no, that's not Ohio. That's just in the United States. Like so I think let's see if it has a path on here. Let's 2017, 2024 safety
2044 solar eclipse path. That's what you could type in.
You just want me to Google it?
Yeah, just Google it, Daddy.
2044 solar eclipse
path of totality.
Boom. Totality.
Yeah, see, we won't be in the totality.
Ohio won't. No.
Correct.
Let's see if we can find a map.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. Let me see. What is this? I'm probably clicking on some links. I might not. Shouldn't. Real quick. I just want to say, so, let's see. We did have a comment. Somebody said, PF Garage said, felt the same way. So he must have felt the same thing we were feeling. I just felt like I was floating. It was really weird. Really cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Like, for real.
Let's see. Is this?
There you go.
Is this it? Oh, it's the Washington Post, so we're probably not going to see this. And
paywall is strong.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. Come on. Get out of there.
You piece of
trash.
You're a piece of trash, Washington Post. Democracy dies in darkness. That's literally what they're doing.
Can't give me free stuff. All right, what's this? 24. This is 2045. All right, so what's really weird is we're supposed to have one in 2044 and 2045. This is CBS News. When is the next total solar eclipse for the 2020, 2044 and 2045 events? Okay, so we might get two answers here. That's a pretty nice picture. All right.
Reminds me of someone's.
It does. Okay, so all right. So this is the 2044 total solar eclipse. So it looks like it's really only going to hit these. Let me see if.
I mean, Montana.
Yeah, it looks like Montana, North Dakota,
and no one else. And then it goes into Saskatchewan and British Columbia.
Yeah, just barely clipping these three states right here. And then it goes up into Canada. So that's the next one that you'll be able to see from the U.S. Now, there's one apparently in 2045 that goes from Cali all the way across down into Florida. So
now that's crazy because, like, Oklahoma City got it last time too, so they're just getting all of them.
No, they didn't get the last one. However, no, Little Rock, Arkansas, which is right around this little nub right there, they will be able to see it in 2045.
Oh, pieces of trash.
And they got to see it in 2024. So they're getting it
That's trash.
twice in 21 years, which is pretty cool. It would be cool to live there. But I might make that drive in 2045.
That'd be sweet.
I probably will. We'll see. If I'm still here, I'm there. So, but yeah, so we'll see the eclipse again, Tom.
We will.
And see, there's actually another eclipse in 2026 that will actually, it won't be in the U.S., but you'll be able to see it from like Portugal, Spain, Greenland.
Oh, isn't that
Iceland.
the one that will be in Greenland?
Yes.
Yeah.
In 2026. So in 2 years, you can go see that one if you want to travel. It's tempting. I'll tell you what, that eclipse was so dope. I would be tempted to take that flight overseas.
I mean, it was cool, man. But so the cool thing is that people were able to record it. I mean, people were able to take pictures. They were able to take video. They were able to document this, and they were able to, really remember it. And the cool thing is that you took some really nice photos. I mean, they were beautiful. I mean, like seeing that the depth of everything, even against the black background of that, was just super dope. But I wanted to talk about with that photo is yours. That's yours. No one can take that from you. People can try to take that from you and claim it as theirs, as situations have arisen. Why don't we talk about intellectual property?
Let's do it.
So when you take something, when you record something, when you write something, when it's your original idea, it's yours, right?
It is.
That's your IP. And people have the gall to come on and take it and not even subtly hide it. And then they get mad when they get called out on it. So in this era of things just being easily able to be proven, how can people dispute that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Well, what are my thoughts as far as like people being able to just jack it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, people are going to take what they're going to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's right. And I disagree with it. I wish, my thing is if you take something like I've used songs, popular songs for videos on Facebook and YouTube, and they've gotten taken down because somebody made a copyright claim on it, right? It is what it is. I think there are gray areas, and I think this actually leads into a great conversation because so it's one thing, to take somebody's straight up copy their entire work and claim it as yours.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously shouldn't happen.
No.
Like you can't just take somebody's work and then say, look, not only did I copy off copy their homework, I legit scanned their homework, a carbon copy, and said that was mine.
Yep.
Now, that's where I have a problem. But a big question, a big topic, a big conversation out there is AI. So we've talked about AI a lot, right? AI, everything that they generate, they basically source from other stuff, take bits and pieces, and put it together to create a full image, right? There are copyright claims that some of these AI companies have been hit with by doing that. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that these AI companies should be held liable for copyright infringement, or is that fair use?
I think. Well, I mean, you said it yourself. They source from a bunch of different sources and then combine them into a different image. It's not like they're taking. It's not like they're taking a picture of like the day that LeBron James was drafted. Like if you went on to one of those image generator websites and you typed in kid gets drafted to the NBA, right? I would expect to see a bunch of different images made into one image and it's generated and it looks unique. What I wouldn't want to see is a picture of LeBron on draft night and instead of him being in the white suit that he was in, he's in an orange suit. It's just the same image, you just edited it a bit. You know what I mean? There was really it's not hard to edit white to orange in Photoshop. You know what I'm saying? But if you take a bunch of different small things, like maybe, hey, the eyebrow here, the iris from someone here, and the eye shape from another person, and you put that all together, you're making a new, unique shape. It's just like when two people make a kid. I mean, you're taking a copy of yourself and you're taking a copy of the female, and then it turns into its own unique thing, right? That's what I think AI is. I think that's fair use. I don't think they should get in trouble for that.
I would agree with you, actually. I agree with you on that. And here's why. Because if you think about it, we've made a lot of comparisons to, from humans and, conscious thought. And we've compared that to AI and their generative replies, right? If I tell you to draw me a picture of a shoe, your picture, what you draw is all based off of reference from other shoes that you have seen. Correct. If you've never seen a shoe and I told you to draw a shoe, you would look at me like I'm friggin' stupid because you have no idea what a shoe is. But if you've seen one shoe or thousands of shoes, now you can draw a shoe because you know what it is. But there are going to be elements of that shoe that are similar to actual products.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're just taking parts of your memory.
Yeah.
And you're building something based off. You're generating your own image.
Well, I mean, just turn around real quick. Look at that.
Ah, very good.
Right. So you've got the Yeezy 350s, right?
Those are very easily distinguishable, though.
Very distinguishable. But look at the stripe going down, right? The Supply 350.
Right.
Look right under it. There's a stripe going down that shoe. And the Vans, right?
Yes.
Look at the Nike. There's a stripe that goes right down through. Obviously, there's a frame of reference for Kanye West when he made that shoe to, make his iconic Supply 350 the way that he did, right?
Yeah, so what you're saying is like the Vans have a stripe, so does the Yeezys. So should he get hit with copyright?
Exactly. No.
He shouldn't.
Why? Think about like sports teams, right? I mean, they're all different. Every logo is different. Every uniform is different, right? Well, the New York Yankees have had pinstripes since the 1940s, right?
So do they own that? Right.
Exactly. So do they own pinstripes? Because when the Orlando Magic came into the league in the 90s, they had pinstripes, black uniform with white pinstripes.
Right.
But the Yankees were a white uniform with black pinstripes.
Blue.
Oh, were they? Oh, they're navy blue. Yeah, they're dark blue. So, I mean, that even gives further credence because the Magic's colors are black, white, and dark blue.
Right.
So do they own the pinstripes?
Yeah, no, I don't think
That's just fair use.
I agree.
The Cavs, they were orange and blue for a long time in the 80s and early 90s. The New York Knicks are orange and blue, man. The Knicks don't own orange and blue. It's just fair use of the colors. Like,
Yeah,
it's just what it is.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
And yeah, like I said, I think it comes down to how much of that image. I guess that's a good question. So, how much of the image can be
A fraction of it, man.
can be the same before it's copyright?
I would say just a fraction.
Give me a number, like 10%.
10% and under.
10%. So it has to be 90% different
Mm-hmm.
for it to not be copyright.
Correct.
Okay.
Because, I mean, think about like when Lil Wayne, he's had so many different eras in his career, right? There's so many different types of Lil Wayne. What's the most prolific era? Mixtape Wayne,
Right.
right? What was he doing? He was
Jacking
taking
everybody's beats. Yeah.
but he wasn't just jacking beats. He was jacking the flow that person would use.
True.
He was jacking some lines and then remaking them into
True.
his, right?
Yes.
But it was still 90% his. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The beat, for sure. The flow, for sure. And maybe a line or two. But everything else, he absolutely murdered. So it became his. Like,
Yeah.
Upgrade You, Beyonce's song,
One
right?
of my favorites.
One of your favorites?
The remix,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's remix? Yeah. Yeah.
It might be my favorite of his,
Yeah.
right? That's Beyonce's song. Upgrade You is Beyonce's song all day.
But the crazy thing is,
But
I don't
now
even
it's his.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even. But then again, I'm a guy, so I'm gonna be a little biased. I don't listen to Beyonce all like that.
But you don't have to be, because I don't listen to Beyonce, but I know Upgrade You is her song. You know what I mean? Just like Lollipop will forever be Lil Wayne's song, right? But there is going to come a time when a young rapper takes the Lollipop beat and makes it his, and
you put that in the atmosphere. It's gonna happen now.
Oh, I hope it does,
and it's gonna get popular.
Think Jay-Z, he Dirt Off Your Shoulder, great song, right? Lil Wayne redid that song and 50 times better.
Yeah.
You know, another Jay-Z, I'm a hustler, homie, you are customer crony. That I'm a hustler, homie. Cassidy, the rapper,
sampled
that I'm a hustler, homie, and turned that into one of the biggest bangers of like 2005, 2006.
That's true.
I mean, that's fair use. I mean, he didn't infringe on anything.
Yeah.
Just the line, dude. But now Jay-Z, that's from Jay-Z. You would think it's from Jay-Z. But it's not. It's Cassidy. It's Cassidy the hustler.
Cassidy owns that now.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler. Yeah.
I used to love that song, dog.
So, real quick. So, we talked about the eclipse and some intellectual property. I want to show you this picture that I'm
digging that picture.
That I took. That is this was actually jacked for me, but I'm not even showing this because somebody stole this picture from me. I'm showing this because I want to show you something here. So this,
I know what you're going to show me. Can I tell you what I think it is? You know what I think it looks like?
What?
Zoom in. That's a solar flare.
It is definitely a solar flare.
But you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Sperm entering an egg.
That's wild. I didn't think about that.
Think about that.
What I was going to say is this prominence right here, this solar flare.
Yeah.
It's probably bigger than Earth.
Oh, yeah, dog.
That shit breaks my brain, bro. This protrudes more from the sun than the Earth would if the Earth was right there.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Fucking wild. We are so small, bro.
But correct me if I'm wrong on something.
Yeah.
That didn't happen during the eclipse.
No,
that
those
happened years ago. Because isn't it light travels slower, so we're actually looking back in time when we look at something like that?
By 8 minutes. It takes 8 minutes for light to get from the sun to the Earth.
Okay. All right.
But these...
Oh, I'm thinking of like deep space stuff.
Yeah, these prominences, can stay like that for days or months, or I think even years, if I'm not mistaken. That's
What
actually
would happen if a
Let's
solar flare hit the Earth? We'd be dead.
it would fry some shit.
We'd be dead.
Let's see if we can.
And I apologize for all yawning tonight. I don't know.
I know,
what's going
Tom.
on.
You should have took me up on that offer for some coffee.
I should have.
Let's see. Let's see if Google knows this.
Several months.
How long do solar prominences last? Solar prominences flow along a magnetic field the sun generates and can last for several months. The prominences can extend into space as far out as 200,000 miles, nearly the distance between Earth and the Moon. That's roughly 28 times the diameter of our planet. Oh, 28 times the diameter of our planet. Bro, that's wild. That is what that prominence that you see is 28 times, could be.
That solar flare would engulf Jupiter, bro.
Yeah, there are some that are bigger than Jupiter. I bet you, I read that somewhere. So prominences. What is the size of a typical solar prominence? Let's see if Quizlet knows. So many pop-ups.
Quizlet's ran by Democrats.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know
that for a
how much
fact.
there are the sunspots. It's just a whole bunch of. Yeah, there's too many questions that filtered through there. How big? Jupiter.
A Jupiter-sized solar prominence.
Where do you see that?
Click
Oh,
that.
this.
Oh, that's the India Times, though.
What do you mean? What are you saying? Guy captures Jupiter-sized solar prominence on sun surface. To even think that they're that big, though, that's crazy, bro.
That right there is larger than Jupiter.
Yeah.
How big is the fucking sun? That doesn't even look that big compared to the sun.
Let me tell you how. Let's do this. How long would it take to drive around the sun at 100 miles per hour? Cora knows. A very long time indeed. Most of it waiting
the road to be built.
All right.
All right. 95,000 years to reach the sun if you drove at 100 miles an hour.
That's crazy. 95,000. That's to get to the sun. The sun at this time of the year is not even, so traveling would take. Wait a minute. Here we go. What's the circumference?
F.
I know. I was looking to see if it popped up.
It does. Down.
Where? Circumference of the sun. Oh. 2.7209. So here, let's do. Was that 2702? What was it? 720,984. 984. Divided by. That would be 100 miles per hour. Am I doing that right?
Yeah.
So it would take 27,000 hours. 27,000. How many days is that?
27,000.
27.
Divided by 24. That's 1,133.4 days. And that's nonstop driving.
So that's 3 years.
That's 3 years of just driving nonstop.
Wait, 1,000. Yeah, that's 3 years of driving nonstop.
That's 3 years and 1 month of driving nonstop. You better be popping Adderall, boy.
That is crazy to think about. That it would take you 3 years, over 3 years, to drive.
It could be the most torturous 3 years in ever. That crazy.
We're small, bro. We are small.
Yeah, we are very small, and we don't even know how small we are. That's the thing. Like, we have an idea of how small we are, but we haven't even begun to explore the galaxy, the solar system, the universe. Can I be honest with? Can I be frank with you?
I prefer it.
I don't think we ever will. I don't think we'll ever understand.
Let's think about this, bro. It takes 3 years to drive around the sun. The closest, how far away is Andromeda, right? Mm-hmm. Andromeda is the closest galaxy. How far away is Andromeda? Man, we're just 2.5 million light years.
So going by that,
years,
it would take you.
No, you got to calculate light years. This is how many.
Oh,
that's how many years it would take you if you drove if you were speeding at the speed of light.
We'll never get there.
It would take you 2.5 million years at the speed of light to get there.
So there was a movie I watched not too long ago. I saw it a long time ago, but I watched it again. Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey.
Amazing movie.
Fantastic film. And Neil deGrasse Tyson actually said it's the most accurate representation of space travel.
I love that movie. That's probably on my top 3.
It's amazing. I wouldn't go that far, but
I would
put it in my top 20.
But then again, I love space and science.
Yeah, you love space. You love science. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is a space and science movie. It's called 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay.
And it was kind of I feel spiritual grandfather of Interstellar, in my opinion. But they posited a really interesting theory that a black hole could get you somewhere faster because of, you think of it as like
it stretches
bending.
Space and time.
Yeah, it's like bending. So your destination's here and you're here and you got to go like this way to get there. But what if you could just bend everything so like you could just get there quicker?
Like warp drive.
Like almost. A warp drive pretty much. And I don't think that we'll ever have the technology to develop that.
I think we will. Although let's be
frank. It's going to be our great grandkids.
All right, so I have a few theories in my mind right now, right? Okay. On a couple different things. Let me first start off with even if we figure it out, like they say, light speed is not possible. Correct. It's impossible to go the speed of light or faster than the speed of light. Even if we could go the speed of light, to get to Andromeda, it would take 2.5 million years.
Yeah.
We would never see that, obviously, within our lifetimes.
Never.
Right? So how realistic is it to space travel to Andromeda?
Impossible.
Unless we figure out a way to increase our lifespan by
millions of years.
Millions. I mean, like, let's say
but who would even want to live that long?
I would.
Bro, no.
Yes, I would.
No,
I
would.
I promise I would.
There's too much heartache, man.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand but there's so much.
There's so much that you could do.
Not even so much that you could do, so much that you could see.
That's true. But I thought about that too, though, like living forever or something like that.
I would. I'm just too curious about the future.
I'm very curious.
For me to have an expiration date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, man, because like I wish I had that outlook. Like I really do, but like as fucked up as this sounds, I'm looking forward to my expiration date. And the reason being is because I know that it's realistically I'm about to be 35. Realistically, it's about, on the bright side of things, 60 years away. Right?
Your expiration date?
Yeah.
Let's just say you're halfway.
Let's say 95 years old.
Okay. All right.
With that in mind, I want to be able to live everything as meaningfully and impactfully as possible. So when it comes to that time, I don't look back and be like, I'm really glad I went to bed at 10 o'clock on Wednesday nights. You know what I mean? No, I can look back and be like, I was a great dad. I was a great friend. I was a great husband. I was a great worker. I was great at everything I did. To me, what happens after I die isn't important, because what's now is important. You know what I mean? Like, but that's a beautiful thing to want to be able to like live that long. But I just don't think I could, because like
I'm curious.
Like if I lived that long, it's unrealistic to assume that I would, like, say Megan didn't want to extend her life like that, right?
Right.
Realistically, I'd have to find someone else so I wouldn't be alone. You know what I mean? But then what if that person doesn't want to extend their life? Well, then there's 2 loves that have died. More kids that have died. You know? Everything I know and everyone I love just keeps dying, and I'm the only thing that keeps existing. And that it just becomes so lonely.
Can we take a poll? Would you...
If you could, would you live forever? The only way I do it is if Megan and Wyatt did it.
We're going to put this right here on... I'm going to create this poll length. We're going to give it... We're going to come back to this in 7 days. But we'll see if we... everyone can reply. Post. Yes. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share this to... Copy link. We're going to share this to our Facebook, Tom.
Hell yeah.
We're going to see if anybody... We're going to see what everybody has to say. How do I post?
Switch into that.
Oh, okay. I wasn't on the page. All right.
If Megan and Wyatt elected to do it, I would do it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm too curious about the future. Would you live forever? Post it. Let us know, people. Let us know in the chat if you're still with us watching. Let us know in the chat if you would live forever, if you could. But yes, I would live forever. Like I said, I'm too curious about the future. I really want to see if we can get to a point where we are traveling, where we figured out time travel, because it would be so cool.
But
to know,
I feel like you already know that we haven't done time travel. It's already known that we haven't.
That we haven't yet. I want to know if we do in the
will.
beach. If
it was time travel, someone would have already came back.
Would they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about that. For one, you create a lot of paradox. And when I say time travel, I don't mean time travel is in the sense of like go back in the past and change events. I mean time travel is like space and time. So you always have to, in my head, you always have to move into the future. But when I say time travel, like we looked up, it would take 2.5 million years to get to Andromeda if we travel at the speed of light. When I say time travel, all right, so we want to get to Andromeda, but we're going to warp time.
I get you.
To where we get there almost instantly.
I get you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We always have to move forward. We're not moving back. But if moving back would be crazy as hell. But I see what you're saying. Nobody's came back from the future. But when I say time travel, I mean space and time, like instantaneously space travel.
Yeah.
Because you have to warp time to do that. But time is relative.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm just too curious to find out stuff like that, to see any of that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, SpaceX. Look at this freaking video that Elon Musk posted the other day.
While you're looking that up,
Yeah, talk to me.
when you talk about going back in time, you know what I think would be awesome? If you could go back in time, but it would be impossible to interact.
You're just going back in as an observer.
And you observe. And like you like watch things. And like I think it'd be so cool to like be able to like go back in time and like watch like maybe my mom and dad meet for the first time. I think it'd be really cool to like go back in time and see like
what's the movie with Denzel Washington and real pretty black actress where
there's a lot of them.
He goes back and tries to save her. Well, he can view the past as it's happening, and he accidentally interacted with the past by shining a laser.
Deja Vu.
Yes.
With Paula Patton.
That is a great movie.
It was a great film. Jim Caviezel was in it. Who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Here it is. Okay, let's open this up. All right, so this is, can we see this bigger?
Yeah, right, like that.
All right, so this is a video of SpaceX, every SpaceX launch from 2010 to 2023. It's about a minute long, but let's take a look at this. So in 2010, we got every couple months we'll get, look at this. We're already in 2013. We've only had a handful of rockets, right?
Yeah.
We got 2. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look at that. They're starting to take off a little bit. We're in 2015. Now I want you to notice something here. 2016. Oh, shit. Something exploded. 2017. Look at them going in 2017. Look we got more back here in the background. We got a ton of them going off now. 2019. Well, that was a big one. Those are some big ones. Wait. 2020. We got even more back here in the background. I wish I gave you a number of how many they're actually doing. But look how frequently, like we are at the genesis. In my opinion, we are at the beginning. We are at the genesis of space travel.
Yeah, I would say we are.
I think all the space race and everything from back in the 60s, I think that was just if it was real. I think that was just I think that was it's so weird that we had almost no action between then and now.
Yeah.
And now we're just
dominating.
That curve, like a curve.
That bell curve.
The bell curve.
Yeah.
Well, now we're headed straight up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it's because we got someone who is actually invested in finding out what's out there. And so, like, I had this conversation with a buddy of mine. He said, why would we want to go and explore space when we haven't even really understood what's here at home? And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, there's so many diseases and there's so much this, there's so much that, like famine and war. Like, why are we investing in going into space and escaping when we have to solve stuff down here? And I said, and it made me think, because I mean, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But think about all the good that can come from space travel, man. Like Mars. It's super far-fetched, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that you go to Mars and you analyze some sediment and some deposits, and oh my God, it has minerals in here that are that Parkinson's disease can be cured by synthesizing this and heating it the right way. It turns into the right compound and it would rebuild like that part of the brain that's messed up. Like, there's so many applications to actually improve life through space travel. Like, it blows my mind. Because I watch YouTube stuff about that. Like, stuff that we find on other planets could actually help us down here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's an element or some kind of, like
that
you
we
said,
haven't even fathomed.
That we never even thought about. Never discovered, never even thought about.
There was this guy. He said when you were younger, you watched Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is the red and blue suit. He wears the blue suit with the red on it and the webs. He said, but remember when he got the black suit? It was the suit that formed over him, and it later became Venom.
Right.
He said, what if there's something like that out there, but it's not malicious? It's just literally a symbiote that would attach to you. And it's a parasite because it needs you to live, but there's no adverse effects. It just repairs what's wrong, and it just needs you for sustenance. Like your waste. Like,
I see. What kind of relationship would that be? That would be a
parasitic relationship, a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, but so
it'd be like
those are two different relationships, though.
It'd be like the fish that swim under the shark. The shark.
It's a mutually beneficial.
A mutually beneficial relationship.
Right.
Exactly. Like, hey, I have Parkinson's. I have dementia. I'm about to be paralyzed. Like, my life's about to suck. Down from Mars, we got this thing, and it's a goop, and it covers you, and absorbs into your body, and it feeds on you. But only like your waste. You know what I'm saying? Like your shit and your pee, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can walk again. You can remember everything again. We would never know, though, if we didn't go to space.
You know what kind of piques my interest sometimes? And like I said, I have a couple theories. You know how we're trying to leave Earth?
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how, all right, so if something happens to Earth, what's the next step? What logically, obviously, we're not going to be able to take everybody from Earth into space because what would we need? We would need something big and Earth-like.
We would need a life raft.
Yeah. Yep. What if Earth was the life raft for a different colonization?
Yo. I've actually watched something on YouTube about that.
Have you?
I have.
Yeah.
So
like,
that's like a theory.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if Earth is the life raft?
That's crazy because there is only one Earth. You know what I mean? Like
right.
A habitable planet in a solar system that isn't really habitable.
So I've thought about this, right? So I've done these calculations with like Andromeda and speed of light and how long it would take to get there. And, if we wanted to, travel the universe, obviously it's going to take a shitload of time. And we would have to have, obviously, because it's going to take so long, we have to have something that is going to be able to sustain generations during our travels.
Yeah. Generations.
Yes.
Generations.
So
50, 60, 70.
Would we build a spaceship? To me, that doesn't sound logical.
That's not practical.
For one, because we'd have to bring all of our supplies with us.
But you'd also have to sustain the spaceship. Remember, it's going to be floating in space, and space is harsh.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're a million miles from Earth, bro. Like, there ain't nothing, like, something fucks up, you are fucked. So.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you have to bring all your materials with you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel. You have to have enough fuel to get there, unless you have renewable fuel, right? Which Earth does. As big of a controversy it is, fossil fuels, they're renewable. It takes a long time. They're renewable, right? The Earth will produce its own fuel.
Absolutely.
So as long as we keep... What's that?
The dinosaurs.
Fossil fuels don't come necessarily from dinosaurs. I mean, it just comes from dead plant matter and organic matter that's broken down into...
Well, what I'm saying is like the very first instance is when the dinosaur era, the Cretaceous period, the Mesozoic period, like all of that shit died. And
all the trees,
fuels.
All the animals.
Exactly.
Right.
All that died, and then that was a cycle, and then it took a while, but it renewed again.
It broke down.
Again.
Right.
It all broke down. It keeps breaking down. Exactly.
Yeah. So we have it takes a long time, but it's renewable. And, but yeah, so that makes me think that Earth might be the life raft.
That's crazy to think about.
But the Titanic sank. Mm-hmm. It had its own life rafts. How many of those life rafts actually sank? So we got to make sure that we don't sink our life raft.
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep. You know how you make it so you don't sink your own life raft? You got to have a crew and passengers aboard that are on board with the goal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But here's the other thing. Do you go to Andromeda without knowing what's there? That's a big leap of faith, man.
I mean, Christopher Columbus sailed across the ocean not knowing.
Yeah, but that's a little different.
How, though?
Because that was a year journey, right?
Oh,
that was a year of,
you're saying the time makes a difference.
It was hey, if something was wrong, that's a year of his life he couldn't get back. And that's probably fine because he was in his early 30s.
So you're saying hopefully whoever sent this life raft out
knows what the fuck is on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a 2.5 million year journey.
Would we ever know, though? We would just get to the end and be like,
well, time to turn around.
Or this is it,
Yeah.
Brace for impact.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I mean, and what do you do when you meet whatever's on the other side? What do you do?
It's a good question.
Like, because they'll know that you're coming. Megan and I had this talk the
Hopefully
other day.
we have an agreement before we get there.
Correct. Megan and I were watching a show the other day. And I said to her, "Do you think aliens are real?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "I do too." I said, "But I don't think that they're like malevolent or they want to hurt us." And she said, "Well, why?" And I said, "Because if they wanted to, they would have done it already."
See, here's my thing though. If aliens are real, what if they're in the same situation we are, where we're like, how do we get there to that white dot in the sky fast as shit? And they're still trying to figure it out. That's a long time. 2.5 million years is a long freaking time at the speed of light. At the speed of light.
But look at all the religious texts. Look at like the Bible. Look at the Quran. Look at the Torah. There's mentions of not aliens, but flying discs. There's mention of all throughout history, people encountering ships. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's allegorical, but at the same time, when everyone's telling the same allegory, there's a shred of truth. You know what I mean? These fuckers have had ships since Rome, since Jesus's era. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty advanced. I think that they know. And like I told Megan, I said, I don't think they'd ever attack us or hurt us. And she said, why? I said, because they would have done it already, first of all, because they've been visiting allegedly, if we're to look into a little bit in the Bible and stuff like that. They've already been here, But also, think about like when you're outside in the garden or you're outside on the sidewalk, you see an ant, right? You don't go out of your way to kill that ant. It's just there. It's just doing its thing. You know what I mean? It's just walking. It's got a colony. You probably did when you were a kid, but I mean, as an adult, I know I haven't. I've never seen like an anthill and like gone and like kicked it. You know what I mean? Because they're ants. They're not hurting anything. I said, I think that aliens view us the way that we view ants.
It's an interesting point. And I mean,
we're
not a threat.
We're not a threat. Like, it's nothing malicious. It's just like they're humans. They're not a threat to us.
Yeah.
Like, they could come at us, but we'd probably just laugh. Just like how when ants like swarm towards you because you got that piece of chicken,
right,
on your plate when you're on the ground. They're not going to hurt you. You're just going to pull the piece of chicken and thing away and then get up and walk to like a seat, like fuck these ants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might swat a few, but I think that's how aliens view us. Like, oh, they're coming. They're shooting nukes at us. Great. Boop. Problem averted.
Yeah, I agree.
Silly humans.
So another like people talk about if aliens are real, why haven't we seen them? Well, for one, some people do say that they've seen aliens.
Dude, yeah.
For two, think about it this way too. So the Earth has been around 13 billion years or something like that, and humans have been around for a couple thousand,
mm-hmm.
a couple thousand of those years.
Yeah.
Think of an you said ants. Now think of an ant hill in the middle of the jungle, right?
Mhm.
Middle of the jungle, super remote. You know,
We're talking like African tribe part of the jungle where like there's like they're removed from society.
completely removed from
Yeah.
society, right? So think of an ant hill in the jungle, and how many generations of ants? You know, how many generations have gone by of ants have gone by before one of those ants have seen a human walking through the jungle?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what if we are just one generation of those ants and we have yet to see that wandering stranger come by our anthill?
That's true too, because like you said, humans have only been on Earth for a couple thousand years. Before us, it was dominated by animals and plant life, and how many of them saw something and
Right.
they could never quantify it or write it down. They didn't even know what they were looking at. You know what I mean? Like, the craziest thing to me is when you think about the breadth of history of the universe, it's impossible to think it's been quiet the entire time. Because think about space. Space is quiet. There's nothing there except for nothing and planets, right? It is impossible, and I think you'd be stupid to assume that there hasn't been a ship that's flown through there at some point that's not human. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making sense.
No, absolutely.
You would be dumb to think that. There's no way
And-
quantifiably in a literal infinite universe that there has not been one other thing that's flown through, that's been manned by an intelligent being. You know?
Well, space is very big,
Mhm.
so I think the possibilities. I think-
Greater
I
than
think-
90%.
See, but here's the thing, though. If you just launch off from here, right, just straight
up.
line, right, without looking, just you're going in a straight line. The chances of you actually running into something are very small.
Mhm.
Ever, like probably millions of light years.
Yeah.
Before you would even come close to any kind of solid
Anything.
object.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's nuts to think about, isn't it?
yeah.
And think about this too.
All those stars in the sky, you'd still miss almost all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
And those are planets, bro. Those are
Stars, planets, yeah. Whole systems.
The craziest thing to think about with me is you have Christians and religious people that say God made the earth and people in his image, right? It would stand to reason that God didn't just make one planet. You know what I mean? He would probably want to try other things at other places. Correct?
So he's a scientist.
Absolutely.
Well, there are many experiments.
If we're not a simulation, then we were absolutely created by something. We're not a biological evolution. There's no way we are. That it's just chance that this happens to be the planet, and it's the only planet that happened on. Because how many other planets are there? You know what I'm saying?
Let me
like.
I want to get your take on this theory. So the Big Bang.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state. Then nearly 13 million years ago, expansion started.
Billion. 13 billion years ago.
Billion years
so
ago.
So let me get your take on this, though. What if the Big Brain or the Big Bang is just conception of a being?
I think that's a fantastic theory.
And the universe is actually a brain of a larger being. So the conception.
Are you talking like a Galactus type being? Like, you know who Galactus is?
No.
He's the bad guy in Fantastic Four. He's just this humongous like being that walks around space and eats planets. And he's immense. He's as big as universes. He's huge.
So the universe would be the brain
of
a larger.
Yes, exactly what you're saying. I get it.
Okay. So basically inside your brain is essentially, you can consider your brain a universe.
Another universe. That's crazy to think about.
And then conception is the Big Bang, because now your brain starts to develop and grow, right? It's spreading, it's getting bigger.
That's beautiful. What you just said, that's beautiful. Like, for real. That's beautiful to think about. At the end of the day, we're our own
Universe.
Mm-hmm. I think that when you die, whenever we die, you see what it all really is.
You know, I would like to think that. I don't think that's the case, though.
You think when you die, you're just dead.
I think when you die, you just take a long nap. Yeah.
But okay, so naps, you dream. So do you dream when you die?
All right, so
you just think there's nothing.
Nothing. You go to sleep, your body shuts down, that's it.
So you just cease to be.
Yeah, you're effectively unconscious, but so is every cell in your body.
So that's it.
That's it.
So what happens after that? Are you aware?
Your organic matter? No.
You cease to be aware.
You cease to be aware. Your organic matter then breaks down and gets recycled into. Well, I guess it depends on what your
beliefs are.
Yeah, what your process is after death, what happens to your body, but like your organic,
you're cremated, or
either way.
I want to be put in those tree pods.
That would be sweet, dude. I've actually thought about that.
I thought about that
because I mean, yeah, I think your body belongs to the earth and it just goes back to the earth.
Just goes back.
Ashes to ashes, dust to
dust. How crazy would it be if when you die, you show up in like a room kind of like in an Interstellar, where it's like that big like room with all the stars and it's like a white floor and like shit spinning around you and you're just like looking around, right? And then this being comes up to you and it doesn't talk, but you can understand it, and it just goes, do you want to come back and redo everything as a child, and a new child, like you have new parents, new friends, new everything, or do you want to know what it's all about?
I want to know what it's all about.
I think I'd answer that every time. I want to know what it's all about, man.
See, that's why I want to live forever.
But then on the other hand,
because if I can consciously know what it's all about, I'll take it. I just want to know what it's all about. If I die and I know what it's all about, I will be satisfied. But I don't think that's the case. That's why I would like to live forever.
You know what I kind of like to do? I kind of like to go back and relive life.
I would like to do that too.
But as a different person. Like as a different person.
I still want to know what it's all about.
Oh, sure. But you know what I really like? I'd like to go back and I'd like to try and see if I can find Megan again, and see if I can find Wyatt again, and see if I could be with them again.
Yeah, but if you're saying just go back in time, but I thought you would be a new person, new parents, all that.
You would, but I think there'd be an inkling that like this person somehow. You feel something for this person. You know what I mean? Like there's been times when
soulmates.
Like there's been times where like I see someone and I'm like, I know that person, but there's no way that I do. You know what I mean? Like, I know that dude or I know that chick, but no, I've never met them. Hey, this is weird. Like, I think I know you. Oh, well, where'd you go to school? Here. No, I didn't go there. You from this area? Nope.
Nothing. Can't figure it out. Can't put your thumb on it.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know. Like, and I think it'd just be really cool. Like, go back and relive it again with her. Or maybe I'm the chick and she's a guy. You know?
Trying to get pegged?
I'm not in this life. Not in this life. But maybe in a next one, you know. I don't know. I don't know what I'll be into. You know? Oh, very cool news out of the Cleveland Guardians. So we got Josh Naylor. He plays for us, and his younger brother Bo Naylor.
Just got signed?
No, he's been there. They went back to back in home runs on National Siblings Day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Off topic, but I kind of feel like we're wrapping it up. I got to get out of here soon.
All right,
watch the little guy. But let me ask you a question about space. You know, we wanted to talk about WrestleMania tonight, but I don't think it's gonna happen, and that's fine. Cody Rhodes. But when you think about space travel,
yes,
and you think about all the applications it can have, and Elon Musk building and working his ass off, do you think we're running from something, or do you think we really want to learn?
elaborate. I don't think I understand the question. Running from what? Like,
do you think Elon knows something and that's why he's pushing this so hard?
No,
you don't think so?
I think he's just as curious as the rest of us. Actually, I think he might be
even more curious.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be more curious because you got to be really fucking curious to dedicate a lot of time and money into this. You know what I'm saying?
You like, can't be bi-curious.
You can't be like
real curious.
You can't just kind of want to dabble because it takes a lot of commitment to be like, I'm building a fucking rocket.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it in space.
Yeah.
I think you got to be really dedicated and really interested. Yeah, no, I don't think that he knows anything that we don't know. I mean, probably, like nothing of such magnitude of, aliens
world
exist or
Actually, I think if there is one person that would know if aliens exist, it would be Elon Musk.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Who's the person that you think would know if aliens exist?
Ooh.
One person. I think it's Elon.
One person.
If the aliens come down, there was one person that knew about this. And I'm going to make you guess who it was.
Some intelligence officer.
Yeah. So a no name.
Yeah.
To us.
Yeah.
But a big wig to everyone
I don't even
else.
think that the president would know.
I've read that the presidents do know if there are or if there aren't.
Yeah. I mean, they might, but I
think they have to know.
No, I don't think they have to know. Because there are some intelligence. There's some intelligence stuff that I don't even think makes it to the president.
Really?
Yeah.
The leader of the free world isn't privy to information.
I think so.
That's nuts. That just shows how little we trust our president.
Not that we trust our president. I think they're just maybe it's me, but I just have. And it's not even that I don't trust them. I just know how intelligence works.
And if it gets into the wrong hands, what can happen with it?
And I just know that, well, not even necessarily that. I just think that there are I've seen, being in the military, I've seen how a lot of like the intelligence, classified, this is classified, this is unclassified. All right, this is classified or need to know. And, especially when you get into like the need to know. Does the president need to know about this information? No, he doesn't need, because maybe it's in like a limbo state, or doesn't need, no action needed. So there's not really anything for the president to decide on or take action on. Right. So it's like need to know. Yeah, he doesn't need to know.
Gotcha.
So I think that's realistic. I think that's probable.
Cool. Nice.
But
that's nice.
He should know.
He should know.
Or he should. Yeah, I think so too. But although Edward Snowden, somebody interviewed Edward Snowden because he was, he
was popular for a while.
The whistleblower for the whole NSA and all that. But somebody asked him, are there aliens? Because he had it, he had access.
He had all the information.
Yeah, he had access to all that information. He said that he actually did searches for that information and he couldn't find anything. But I'm pretty sure that he said there was stuff that was even above his pay grade that he couldn't access.
That's nuts. If Edward Snowden couldn't find it,
it might be on like some dark server somewhere that only a handful of people know about.
That's wild, bro.
Like some top like
it, and the thing is the server's like this big and it's hidden somewhere, you know what I mean?
It's like a 5 gigabyte or 5 terabyte hard drive, and like only certain people have the passkey to it.
And only certain people even know where to look for it.
And it's not even connected to a network. Like it's just some legit floppy disk.
It's just hooked into the director's son's old Xbox 360. You know what I mean? Like not even connected to the internet. It's just like on the TV in the basement. Hey Dad, I want to, you saw that 360? Yeah, don't fucking touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
air gapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like isn't that but that's probably what it is.
I would
Something
think so.
so inconspicuous you would never think to look there.
Yeah.
It's
hidden in plain sight.
It's on a dude's phone that's taped under a stair.
It's in his fucking drawer.
Yeah, like taped to the bottom of the drawer so like no one can see it.
And it's labeled family photos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Naked pictures of grandma. What the fuck would I want to look at that for? Why the fuck do you have that? I did weird shit with grandma, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No one's questioning that.
So
fuck that.
I don't know, man.
I loved it. I think we had a good show tonight. I think that we
just off the cuff, just
off the cuff in the cut.
Whatever
man.
comes to our brain, basically. No WrestleMania.
No.
We'll get to that.
But hey,
I mean, do you have anything you want to say about it before we take off?
There's a new era, baby. Roman Reigns doesn't exist anymore. It's all about Cody Rhodes now. It's crazy though. Like, it's a 2-night event now, and Roman Reigns owned the title for the longest anyone's ever owned the world championship title, and Cody lost to him last year, and came in and had to go against the Bloodline, right? So night 1, Cody and Seth Rollins have to wrestle The Rock and Roman Reigns to determine the rules for the main event. So if Cody wins,
I'm so far behind on this shit.
All right,
bro.
so if Cody won, it's Roman versus Cody straight up, no interferences, nothing. If Roman won, the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns, The Rock, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso, they're like a legit family.
Right.
They could interfere whenever, make it impossible for Cody to win. Well, Cody lost on Saturday night, so it's Bloodline rules. So Cody's fighting Roman, and all hope looks lost, and then he looks like he's going to win. Well, he's about to pin Roman. Out comes Jimmy Uso and gets it to knock him off. Well, what happens? Jey Uso comes out because he's not with the Bloodline anymore. And Jimmy runs to fight Jey. Jey spears the motherfucker into the crowd. Spears him. So then Cody's fighting Roman again, right? Well, Solo Sikoa comes out and does his Samoan spike to Cody. And the coolest shit I've ever seen. That John Cena runs out and just like does his "you can't see me," takes Solo Sikoa and bombs him into the table.
Didn't we talk about John Cena whenever he did the Oscars thing? Didn't we say something like he was going to make a return or something like that?
Yeah, we predicted that. But this isn't even the coolest part. That's not even the coolest part.
Okay, keep going.
The Rock comes down. And he's going to fight Cody. The arena goes pitch black.
Undertaker comes out.
I thought that there was a power outage because it was black. And Megan goes, "Do you know what this means?"
Undertaker.
Dong. The Rock's like looking around. He turns around. There's the Undertaker staring at him.
I fucking knew it.
Choke slams
The
him.
Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to black. The Undertaker's gone.
That's it.
And then Cody pins Roman Reigns and wins. It was the dopest thing I've ever seen.
Dude, that reminds me of old school WWF.
But
not WWE.
I never
WWF.
saw this shit, bro.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no basis. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
That's the coolest shit, dude.
I haven't popped that hard for something when Cody Rhodes won since the Cavs won the championship in 2016. Before that, I hadn't popped that hard for something since the Green Ranger turned into the fucking White Ranger, bro. Like, and I told Megan, I said, Cody Rhodes is like my adult version of Tommy the Green Ranger. Like, I have never cheered for someone so hard since I was 5 years old. Like, I didn't even cheer for, like, Browns players or college football players like that.
You know what's cool, man?
It made me feel young again.
As excited as you are about it, like, that's how excited I used to be back in the day when I watched it all the time. Like, it was just the coolest thing. Like,
I'm really upset I never got to see that stuff.
I feel bad for you.
But I thought about it. Like, yeah, it sucks that my mom and dad wouldn't let me watch wrestling because I missed out on a lot of cool shit.
You did.
You know what I mean? I really did.
Yeah.
But it's twofold, man. I can go back and watch it now because of YouTube and Peacock. But the other thing is now I'm seeing something through a completely different lens. You know what I'm saying?
You probably wouldn't be interested in. Like,
I wouldn't have been interested.
Yeah, a lot of us who watched it back in the day, we watch it now and we're like, oh, this is
It's getting back to what it was, as I understand. Like, they're swearing on this shit now, man. On Raw the other night, they had to bleep out The Rock for like fucking 10 straight minutes, and you could see what he was saying. And
that's
he's like,
because
Cody
Rock,
Rhodes, you motherfucking pussy, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. Like, he's going on,
dude.
like,
you know what would be the best is if Stone Cold came back.
So he was supposed to.
Oh my god,
he was supposed to. But here's the other cool thing. So when this is all happening, Roman Reigns, they want to distract him. Well, Seth Rollins, there's this thing, and it said the Shield.
mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what that was, but evidently it was Seth Rollins and this guy Dean Ambrose, right? I don't know who Dean Ambrose is. I know who Seth Rollins is. Dean Ambrose is with a different company. Because this match was so big, that company let Dean Ambrose come to WrestleMania, but he didn't get there in time. So Seth Rollins had to go out by himself as the Shield. And I said, how fucking cool would that be? It's every era of WWE in one thing, ending the biggest title fight of all time.
Yeah.
It's The Undertaker.
It's weird that
Cena.
WrestleMania is 2 days, man. I've never seen that.
Dude, it's dope. Like,
was this the first year they did 2 days?
No, last year was no. It's been 2 days for a while now, as I understand. Since WrestleMania 35,
oh,
I
no
looked it
joke.
up. But now here's the thing: how do you make it better for next year? Because now you're going to be expecting something even larger.
They'll figure it out because you know what?
They
They've
have
been
to.
doing the same thing for 25 years.
But now it's not Vince McMahon.
More than that.
Now it's not Vince McMahon.
No, Vince McMahon sold it.
Now it's Triple H.
Yes.
Booking all of it, and it's TKO. Who's the parent company of TKO? UFC.
Yeah.
So now UFC's getting it to, I think UFC now is like, hey, we're this badass brand and we got tough motherfuckers. You guys need to start acting tough. We need swearing again. We need fucking intense matches.
Pushing the line. I'm telling you, they used to push the line, bro. Like, there was a lot of things that... Oh, well, pay-per-view is different. Pay-per-view, because...
This is the first one I've seen like this, though. Like...
You've watched other pay-per-views?
Oh, I've watched wrestling every week since Royal Rumble 2023.
Okay.
I got interested. So it's been over a year now. Since January, it has gotten way more intense. Like, the matches are more ruthless. The promos are back to what they were. Like,
do they have
Megan
blood
said.
again?
No blood yet.
Oh my god.
Off stage they do. Like, The Rock jumped Cody Rhodes and beat his ass so bad that he was bleeding from his face, but it wasn't in the ring.
Was it like leaking blood?
Leaking.
Yeah, that's the shit I like to see.
And,
like, back in the day, that shit used to be dripping.
Well, The Rock said, he was like, Cody Rhodes, I'm going to make you bleed and I'm going to wipe this belt on you. And it said Mama Rhodes, and I'm going to give it to your mama. Like, to give her the belt with his blood, because your boy's going to die tonight, Mama Rhodes. Like, and I was like, The Rock is so fucking cool. How did I not know that he was a wrestler?
Yeah,
I legitimately thought he was just a shitty actor.
No,
like,
no.
Megan said to me, he's The Rock. Like,
that. Where do you think he got the name?
I said, well, there's Prince and there's Seal. Like, you know what I mean? They're not wrestlers. They were musicians. So it stands to reason.
The
Bjork,
Rock,
like Sinbad. Like, come on, Shaq.
Oh, Shaq is the name.
Yeah, Shaq is his name, but I mean, he only goes by Shaq. I mean, it's not Shaquille O'Neal.
The Rock, though.
They don't introduce him on TNT as Shaquille O'Neal. It's just, this is Kenny and Shaq. You know, like, but, or like Tiger Woods. Tiger.
Yeah, but those are the names. The Rock is not somebody's name.
See, I thought it like was his name. Like, it was like Rocky or something.
It is Rocky. But
That's his
they
fucking
call him
name.
The Rock because he's a wrestler. That's his character.
But then I found out his name's Dwayne Johnson, and I was like, what a lame name.
Well, actually, I take it back. His father was Rocky, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm learning all of this. So Dave from Pittsburgh, his uncle was Doink the Clown.
No joke.
Yeah, he inherited all of his money.
That's cool.
It wasn't a lot, but he inherited it.
Doink.
Doink the Clown, man. Like, when he told me that when we were in college, he was like, yeah, my uncle died. He was Doink the Clown. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I got to go to the will reading. You want to come? I said, no.
What the hell happened here? Well, I don't know.
That's Uncle Doink.
Can be. I don't know. Our camera went crazy here, so we're not going to be switching anything if we need to, I guess.
I think I'm about spent, bro.
All right, brother. Well,
I'm sorry to do that to you.
No, you're fine. I mean, it's about that time anyways. So
Daddy's got to get home and be dad, you know?
Well, do your thing, brother. Appreciate you being here, of course, every week.
Absolutely. I appreciate you doing this with me and us getting our niche.
I want to do these more often. So if you're watching this, tell Tom, make yourself available.
I mean, I am available. I mean, we just have to determine the right the right days.
Every day, brother.
You know, I think Mondays are good, and I think Sundays are good until, you know, football season. And then you know how it is with me in football.
I know. I
degenerately gamble. I get way too drunk at like 8 a.m. on Sundays.
Well, then maybe we should do like a new
how funny would it be?
10 a.m. pod, but we're gonna get you lit before 10 a.m.
I was just gonna say, like, what if like the cut started doing like football analysis and it's just me like downing Bloody Marys and you just sitting there shaking your head at me? Browns are gonna win. Browns by 50. Put 50 on it.
We
Tom.
should do something like that.
Like, but I'm really looking forward to like the next elections out here. I mean, we really got some gas like when that was happening. That was fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to the school board in Ashtabula. Hopefully stuff's going well there. I haven't really kept up.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Like, what, we don't get a whole lot of feedback in the chat or on our posts, but I'm interested what other people want to hear about. We just kind of come on here and wing it most of the time, and
you got to.
But
that's the spice of life.
But here's what I really want, and if you're watching this, or if you're watching this in the future, let us know. We like to engage with the chat. Like PF, we got a comment today. PF Garage said he felt the same way during the eclipse, but we want to engage with you guys. We want to bring you guys into the conversation and get your guys' take on a lot of the things that we talk about. As Absolutely. Well as kind of get your input. We don't know everything, although sometimes it seems like I do. I don't. So if I'm wrong or right on something, or you guys have any input, we love to hear from you. We love to hear. But
let's go.
But yeah, so that'll end it for the day. We appreciate you guys joining us as always. And
I have a question for the chat. What poses do you want to see for our next headshots on our thumbnails?
Don't you owe one?
Huh? Oh, what?
I thought we had a bet.
What?
I feel like we had a bet about like one of our thumbnails.
What about it?
I don't remember.
I'm
going to have to go back and watch our videos.
You're going to have to and let me know.
That's a lot of time. We'll see. And unless somebody else knows, I feel like Tom owes us. Maybe it was offline. I feel like we had a bet about a thumbnail that if something happened, if you guys remember seeing it on one of our videos, let us know.
Oh, was it the one where I had to have my shirt off?
No, I don't think that was it.
Because I'll do it right now. I don't care.
Do it. Send us out, Tom.
I ain't doing it.
All right. We're out of here, you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Peace.